The world holds its breath as a new, audacious chapter in global diplomacy is set to unfold. This Friday, August 15, 2025, two of the world's most formidable leaders, US President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin, will meet in the stark neutral territory of Alaska. Their stated purpose is as monumental as it is controversial: to broker an end to the brutal grinding war in Ukraine. This summit is not just a meeting, it's a political earthquake, sending shockwaves from Kyiv to Brussels and beyond. Across the Atlantic, the news of the Alaska summit has been met with a palpable sense of alarm and foreboding. A powerful coalition of nations, France, Germany, Italy, Poland, the United Kingdom, and the European Commission, issued a joint statement that was both a plea and a warning. They demanded that any pathway to peace must not be dictated from afar, insisting with one voice that the path in Ukraine cannot be decided without Ukraine. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who has rallied his nation and the world with his defiant courage, now faces the grim prospect of having his country's fate decided thousands of miles away. The year 2025 is witnessing an unprecedented surge of political disruption, with long-standing norms and ruling parties being challenged and overturned across the globe. In Austria, a nation at the heart of Europe, President Alexander Van der Bellen has tasked Herbert Kickl, the leader of the far-right Freedom Party, with forming a government. In India, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, a leader who has dominated the nation's politics for a decade, finds himself in unfamiliar territory. His Hindu nationalist BJP, for the first time, is governing without an outright majority. In Ghana, a beacon of democratic stability in the region, former President John Dramani Mahama has staged a remarkable political comeback, successfully defeating the ruling party. Parallel to the seismic shifts in political alliances, an economic war is being waged through trade policy, with the United States at its epicenter. By July of 2025, the America First doctrine had driven the average effective U.S. tariff rate to a staggering 18.2%, a level not seen since the protectionist era of 1934. China, the primary target of many of these tariffs, has been particularly adept at this pivot. It is redirecting its massive export engine toward other markets, with shipments to Europe growing by a healthy 6%, and exports to Mexico and Canada surging by an astonishing 25%. While great powers renegotiate the global order, one of the world's most intractable conflicts has descended into a new level of horror, marked by a catastrophic humanitarian crisis and a brutal war on truth itself. The targeted killing of 4 Al Jazeera journalists in a single drone strike represents a terrifying new front in the war: the silencing of those who bear witness. Since the war began in October 2023, at least 242 Palestinian journalists have been killed. Famine has officially been declared in the territory, a grim milestone reached after months of siege and the systematic obstruction of humanitarian aid. This proliferation of violence is being dangerously amplified by two powerful, intertwined forces: the rampant spread of misinformation and deepening societal polarization, supercharged by generative artificial intelligence. According to the World Economic Forum, the single greatest risk facing the planet in 2025 is state-based armed conflict. There are currently more than 110 armed conflicts raging around the world. This global reordering matters to everyone because the world remains deeply interconnected, even as it becomes more divided. A deal on Ukraine's borders will set a precedent that could embolden aggressors everywhere. The world is not just changing, it is being remade before our very eyes. The decisions made this year will shape the character of the 21st century.